TV and radio. You are listening to Elland TV Radio.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Tidakolo, and you're listening to Elland TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elland TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Elland TV and radio. You are listening to Elland TV Radio.
Yes, 9 o'clock, man. All right, good morning and welcome to this possible fee on the Legueta TV radio. My name is Alfie Martinez. So you love to come in the Legueta One Sports. It's a lovely time. I was a night. How did you sleep last night? For me, it was I was watching movie all through the night till about two. And I know the last time I checked the time was two something, and then I slept off. And then my daughter came and woke me up again. She can't sleep alone, and then I had to go to bed to sleep. Yeah, it's a long one. But then again, I still had to wake up this morning. Get ready for the show. How was your night? How are you guys doing? What's going on? My people on YouTube, my people on Instagram, and my people on the on the World Wide Web, and those of you that are using the app, everywhere you are listening to me from, I say good morning. Let's have some fun. I promise you guys at the end of November that the whole of December was going to be me playing around, fooling around, having fun, using sports as my canvas to paint my fun time. Yeah, because it's the month of my birth, like my birthday was on the 26th, and I had great fun. Thank you very much, Judah Gallo, for your good message. I just saw it. And, for everybody who's been, bumping up messages on every platform that I'm connected to, thank you very much. Now it's time to have some fun. Yesterday, okay, so somebody sent me this message. Let me read it. Hi, Daffy. Good afternoon. I enjoyed your show today. It was a whole lot of comic relief, cracking my ribs. Your pidgin English is still as good as it was when you were in Brilla. What's the problem with you? I'm a worry boy. What do you expect? Okay, because I speak English all the time, you think I can't speak pidgin English anymore. What's wrong with you? Okay, and I think you should do a lot of pidgin English instead of English. I'm on YouTube, and a lot of people, okay, outside Nigeria also get to watch. So I'm trying to get a balance. There is youth, there is pidgin, there is English, there is Yoruba, there is Yoruba, whatever I can speak, whatever. There is Ijo. Depends on how the spirit leads, okay? But I'm definitely going to be putting all that together. Having said that, it went on. He said, I like the way you talk sports. You make it easy. You make it also fun, and that is nice. Not too serious, but serious at the same time. Uh, Very playful and enjoyable. Keep it up. I know that setting up a YouTube channel, I was ventured into it and I pulled out. It's not easy, but the way you smile all the time, it makes all of us just feel like it's an easy ride. And almost everybody who's watching you might just think that you don't even struggle doing this thing. How do you keep a straight face? How do you keep a happy face knowing that YouTube is the hardest platform to be on? Wow. Well, let me just finish your message. Big shout out to your crew, to everybody around you. Big shout out to you too. Happy belated birthday. I got to find out very late, but you're one of my favorite football analyst and media personality. Keep it up. It's not easy, but I hope that the year 2023 brings you more subscribers, more views, more money, sponsors, and backing. Have a wonderful time. I wish there is anything that I can do to help you grow, but I am also struggling to find my feet. But I love the spirit that you have and your belief in Nigeria. May I dare say, why do you always say you do not believe in jackpine? Because as I am sending you this message, I am outside of the country. I don't want to mention where I am, but I am outside of the country. And I think that I have a better prospect here than living in Nigeria. But then I would love to know your reason. I hope that you get to read this message on your show tomorrow, and I will be looking out for it. Even if I miss the live one, I will definitely go back and watch it. Thank you very much, your friend SKE. I don't know what SKE means, but thank you very much, SKE, for the message you sent. There are two questions you ask here. How do I manage to keep a straight face? I think that, let me say this, I feel the pressure as well. I feel the pressure. First off, you got to understand I've got a wife and three amazing kids, and I dare say three very, very expensive kids, right? But this thing that I'm doing is not accident. I paid a price to get here. I carried my cross from Owerri to Calvary to get here, and I came in deliberately. There's somebody on the live feed right now, YouTube. His name is Tokpa Kimoyo. I'm sure when you get to, this is the most loyal human being that I've got to know is my brother. And I guess when you sit down with somebody like him and ask him, he will tell you a better story of this journey. I didn't just come here. It's like borrowing money, taking loan to go to school, and getting a degree. And then when you finally come out with that degree, people are not asking you, why do you want to use it to work? Media was always something, information was something that always fascinated me growing up. I always like information. Before people started, I used to tell people that if I wanted to do Yahoo business, I'd probably be one of the earliest successful, maybe the most successful amongst them, because before my mates started doing computer, and I started running cyber cafes, I was top of the game, right? But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was always crazy about information. Like if I hear anything, even in movies, I want to go set the information out. So information was something that really fascinated me. And then when I saw that line that says, whoever controls information controls the balance of power, I knew that this is the industry that I was made for. And then I could talk. I could talk for hours, right? I really love talking. And, it was one of those things that I love doing. But a lot of people when I was growing up said I could be a pastor. I don't blame them, because the neighborhood where we grew up there, everyone who maybe tried to write WAEC twice and you don't get to write it, you don't get to pass, you say God has called you. The ones that went to school, whether it's Awuchi, whether it's Ekpoma, whether it's Uniben or Abraka, I probably come out and they can't get a job for first 1, 2, 3 years. God has called them. That was the modus that's the MO back in the day. And I wasn't one of those people. I've always looked at, I'm sorry, but I've always thought that pastors were scammers, because I felt like when people say God spoke to me, it pisses me off. So I didn't see myself getting into that business of pissing people, of going to go and be telling people God said to me, because it didn't make sense. It makes God looks like a bad person. Every time I hear a pastor say God told me to tell you, it makes God look really bad. You know why? Because I feel like on one hand, you can't say you're my father, and then every time you want to talk to me, you're talking to somebody else. It doesn't make sense. When they keep my list. So if God is really talking to you, you should talk to me too, right? What makes you more special? And then I'm his son and I'm not special. I'm his child and I'm not special. So it didn't make sense. Rather than make me love God, every time people say to me that God said you should tell me something, it makes me hate, just feel like that God does not exist. That's not a good God. Okay, that's a conversation for another day. And then again, another thing that just made me not like the pastor business was that I feel like a lot of people, especially in the African context, a lot of people who are pastors in the African context, they don't have sense. And I know a lot of people will hate me for this, but that was just it. So I didn't want to join the bandwagon of people who don't get sense. Now, let me explain. Since I was born, Jesus have always had a white representation. Have you noticed that even in Nigerian, in African, deep-rooted African movie, they want to represent Jesus They look for a fair person. That's when Ramsey Noah will now become a holy person. They look for a fair person. So the ideology of God has always been a white person, and that's racism of the highest order. So I didn't like it, and I still love to talk. So then football came, football and all of these troubles that came, the injuries, the whole stress that came in. I've told you guys those stories back and forth. And then, time to do coaching, time to do management, there was always one hiccup or the other. So when I decided that media was what I want to do, I felt like I was going to give it my all. I was going to learn it. And, the opportunity came with Brilla. And I really put in that sacrifice. So when I got fired in 2017 and I decided what I want to do, I said to myself, I wasn't going to. Don't forget that I said on Murphy's show one time that if I ever leave Brilla, I wasn't going to work in any other radio station. And I knew that a lot of people were waiting for me to jump into any radio station and hold me there. He said it. And I always like to remind people, I was radio's baddest boy. I wasn't like the guy that people love on radio, like, oh, I was a nice guy. Like, I wasn't a Murphy Jemba who people love. I was a bad boy, right? Because I was a guy who had the audacity to say things that people don't want to hear. So that made me the bad boy. And so if I was going to do anything again within the media space, I was going to go the hard way, the only way. And this is the way that I followed. Yes, plenty of smile on my face. It's not easy. I mean, especially when you spend huge amount of money to create content and then you don't get views for it. Like, for instance, we spent 5.2 million to do that Ayuri video and we didn't even get up to 1,000 views. It's crazy sometimes, especially when my producers and the rest of the team, I say, I wish I were doing the right thing, but I know I'm doing the right thing. So I just keep going. I'm like a farmer. When you plant your seed and you go, you don't see what happened underneath the soil, but something is happening. Eventually, some small sprout will come up, and then before you know it, it will grow into a big tree. That's the way it is. There's a possibility that animal might come and destroy it, rain, flood might come and destroy it, but you've got to have faith, right? And that's what I have. So it keeps me going all the time. And happiness is a choice. It's not in the amount of money in the bank account or what you have. If you're a happy person, you're a happy person. If you're a sad person, you're a sad person. So I choose to be a very happy person because first off, I don't want my happiness to be defined by my money. Money is good anyway. Money will make it a whole lot more, but money will definitely amplify it. But I want my happiness to be defined by intangible things like family, like love, like peace of mind, good health, ability to dream and pursue it. Those things makes me happy. And so that's why you see me, I'm always happy. But I could be very mean and stern as well, and very, very principled and hardliner. The other question you asked, SKE. So I'm not in the jackpot train. I've always said that the people that built America, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Europe, they were their own country people who broke their back, got their hands dirty, roll up their sleeves, and make it happen. If all of the best minds and the best brains keep running away from this country, we're definitely going to be stuck in the same seat. We're not going to make progress. And I'm not about to be that person, right? And another thing that I don't like about most of the Jackparists is that once they travel abroad, the whole excitement of seeing a beautiful country just makes them start hating their own country. I don't want to be caught by that virus. So I think that I have something to contribute here, and I think that I have lives to impact and people to raise from a lower place. Because let's be very honest. Most times when you jackpot, it becomes me, myself, and I, because the way the system is set up abroad, anywhere, whether Europe or the US or Canada, anywhere, is that you're so overwhelmed with paying bills that you start working and working, enjoying the system, the facilities, but you start working and working, and then you pay you buy that house or mortgage after you pay the 30% down payment, and then you live your life before you know you're old. I told my friend the other day, I said, everybody who's jackpotting out of this country is going to be a first generation sacrificer. Like, you're sacrificing for probably your children to be comfortable. But then again, when you born people, you get ahead, because most of them too will get ahead. The system also might not work for them. The whole culture change, the whole racism, the whole discrimination might also work against them. Why not stay here and I'll send my children to good school abroad and come back, okay? Because that's how most of the successful people do. So I'm going to be among successful people instead of not being among them. But having said that, let's come back to sports. I look at sports. SKE, wherever you are, I wish you the very best, and I hope that you get the best out of life. I got another message from in my DM. I hope this comes. Okay, this is from Julian. Julian says, good afternoon, Alfie. I watched your show yesterday. It was very exciting. I love it. I love the excitement on you. The Pidgin English is beautiful. The way you go about fusing scriptures and, movies and music and everything into sports is very unique. I've not seen anybody on that level. You are an amazing person. Thank you very much, Julian. And I love your energy. For somebody who's in Nigeria, it's going through the kind of things that everybody. I don't live in Nigeria. I left Nigeria when I was 7, but I have family and folks in Nigeria who always complain about how hard the country is. You are a glimmer of hope. Sometimes I tell my folks to look at you, to just watch your channel and be excited, because when I look at you, I see something positive about Nigeria. But then most of the people that I know in Nigeria who reach out to me are always complaining. How do you manage to live above the complaints? Oh, wow. The country is tough. Let's not deceive ourselves. The country is tough. But I don't think I want to live my life in complaining. Well, whatever it is, whether you choose to give me an answer or not, I just want you to know that there is someone somewhere outside of Nigeria that is rooting for you and loving what you do. Just keep it up, and I hope that God bless you. And also, happy belated birthday, and hugs and kisses and plenty of love to your amazing wife and your wonderful children. Thank you very much, Julian, for that one. Wherever you are as well, I say God bless you. Where can we? Okay, let me forget all the things in my DM. There's a whole lot of messages in my DM anyway. Let's go and have a show, right? Let's start with the news. There's a whole lot of news, topical, top conversation. Let's see if I can brush through some of them, and then I'll come back to you. It's no longer news that Manchester City went to Leeds, the place where Erling Haaland was born, and in 14 games, Haaland has scored 20 goals. This is the same Premiership that everybody says the toughest league in the world. This guy did score 20 goals in 14 games in the German Bundesliga, even in Austria or in Norway. But then he's doing it here. And before you guys tell me, oh, he's playing with a better team, well, let's be very honest. This season's Manchester City team is one of the worst City team under Pep Guardiola. This team is shambolic, it's horrible, it's just all over the places. Defensively, they're not as solid as you would expect. The midfield seems like there's trouble in that midfield. Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Eke Gundogan, and Kevin De Bruyne doesn't seem to have the synergy that we used to see. Jack Grealish is one of the worst football players I've ever seen in my lifetime. And Mahrez is not coming to the party as he used to. So, to be very, very honest, don't tell me that he's playing under a great City side. This City side is one of the worst, yeah. But then they are second on the league table, and you would ask me, why would I add them? I would say so. But that's my opinion about it. And again, that's why I said the Premier League cannot be described as the best league in the world. Because if a team as horrible as shambolic as Man City is cruising in second position right now, I mean, it tells you a whole lot about the quality of the league, not really as good as you would expect. But let's look at the stories. And before we even look at the story, I've asked this question, and I'm looking forward to your answers. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur. It does look like 3 out of those 4 will miss out on the top 4, because the way it is going, Man City, Arsenal, and Newcastle seems like they have come to stay, even though my small jury is still out on Newcastle. But let's take it for granted that those 3 have decided that they will make the top 4 come the end of the season. So my question to you guys, the first question that I need you guys to look into, I mean, you can bring in any other conversation that you want to bring in, anything you want us to talk about. I am here. Let's have a conversation. Okay, by 10 o'clock I'm out. So use the time that you've got and use it very well. Which of these supposedly 3 big teams will fall off? Okay, and I said supposedly because there's Spurs in that mention. Spurs is not a big team. They might have a 61,000 capacity stadium. That is where it ends. Ini, I see you. Hey, Munte, my most blackmailing sister. Thank you. I see you. How's my little nephew? Okay, and which of these 3 will miss out on the top 4? Because it seems like Arsenal, Man City, and definitely Newcastle have set the ball rolling that they are not going to follow. But then which of these three, out of the four, which three out of these four will miss out on the top four? Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, and Tottenham or Spurs. Okay, give me your pick on them. Let me look at the news stories, some of the news that are making the headline, and let's have some conversation. Amy, I've missed you, man. I go to a COVID, and I no longer see that guy that will just come very slow with a shy smile and well done, no, well done, no. Young man that talks like Edda, well done, no. And thank you, we appreciate. I hope you're doing well. I wish you very good Yuletide season and success in the new year. Monte, we agree that you called me later today. Why are you following up on Friday? Today is not Friday. Come on, sis, calm down. Okay, Leeds United 1, Manchester City 3. Pep Guardiola's champions close gap on leaders Arsenal to 5 points as Erling Haaland hit 20 Premier League goals already with second half double after Rodri's opener. Leeds 1-3 Man City. Premier League Erling Haaland brace was something beautiful. Now, this is very, very instructive. To think that people still say that Erling Haaland have not really settled into the league. So I'm asking, again, I'm adding this question. The biggest numbers that anybody's used to win the top goal scorer in the league is 34, if I'm not mistaken, Alan Shearer and Andy Cole. At this rate, 14 games is played and 20 goals already. He's 14 goals away from those records. Is this the guy that does the 40 goals? Because there's still like more 14 goals. So let's say he scores another 20 goals in another 14 games. I'm not sure he's going to do hat-trick anyway. But let's just hypothetically say, is Erling Haaland the guy that does the 40 goal, that hits the 40 goal mark, in the Premier League? That's the question. Erling Haaland scored, of course, he did returning to his hometown of Leeds to play at Elland Road for the very first time. Was it ever going to end any other way? No way. Well, for 50 minutes, there was some doubt about that. Twice, Haaland was sent through on goal, and twice, Illan Meslier came out to thwart him, among others in the red and black of Manchester City. But when opportunities knocked a third time, it was 3 times a charm. Okay? There was no stopping the Premier League top scorer in troop. Okay, Haaland could hardly have missed when Leeds skipper Liam Cooper played a kamikaze pass to Robin Koch. Jack Grealish darted in to nick the ball as a pickpocket in Enere Junction of the Germans and set off for goal. Haaland followed in pursuit, screaming on top of his voice for the simple pass that would give him an open goal. And Jack Grealish, Holocaust Cola Legbere player, obliged him. City were 2 up and heading for victory. On the touchline, Pep Guardiola punched the air in the stand. Haaland's father, Alfie, a former player of Manchester City that was knocked unconscious by the mean, evil Manchester United Red Devil former captain, Roy Keane from Ireland, yes, some years ago, remained impassive out of respect for his City and Leeds connection. Whoa. Okay. Liverpool have gone double Dutch. In case you don't know, yes, this is the reason why Cody Gakpo decided to go. We spoke a lot over phone. He told me this is the right move. Cody Gakpo reveals Holland teammate Virgil van Dijk helped convince him to join Liverpool as forward complete £44 million switch. Now, this is the story. Cody Gakpo has revealed the role Virgil van Dijk played in convincing him to join Liverpool as he completed his move from PSV Eindhoven for an initial £37 million that will rise to £44 million. All this money won't have call. Just give me £1 million. That's all I need. Just £1 million. I'm not good. And then I would do what? I would 10x it. Okay? I'll 10x it. I've got the ability to do that. But hey, they say you have to work for money. You don't wish to own other people's money. Okay? Gakpo completed his medical on Wednesday. Transfer would have never opened All this law, I don't understand. They all put law, people break the law, it doesn't matter. Until when Arsenal will come break this law now, they'll come say they will sanction Arsenal. But transfer window never open. January 1st never reach, they don't complete medical, they don't pay money, they don't move, he never come England. Okay. Gakpo completed his medical on Wednesday and will be officially ratified as a Liverpool player once he receives his work permit. However, he was quick to praise the role of fellow Holland international and Liverpool defensive kingpin Virgil van Dijk, right? Who was at the club's AXA training center to greet him. We spoke a lot over the phone in the last days, said Gakpo, who will wear the number 18 shirt that was once the property of Michael Owen and his compatriot De Kite. Okay, Liverpool moved for Gakpo once they became aware rivals such as Manchester United did not have the budget to complete the window. All up in your face. Okay, to talk about Kevin Phillips, this is what Pep Guardiola have to say sarcastically, like he's Saka, I don't pot, okay? And this is what he said. He said he has the perfect body now. You know, people were criticizing Pep Guardiola for saying he came back from the World Cup fat. How does somebody goes to the World Cup and come back fat? Okay, are you trying to say that he wasn't playing football, he wasn't training, or he was just eating Arabian food? And does Arabian food make people fat? Okay, well, Pep Guardiola now said he has the perfect body now, so sexy. Okay, it could be in the front of Vogue or Playboy magazine. Makes light of Kevin Phillips' weight issue after he returned to Manchester City bench for win at his old club Leeds United. But once he needs to understand what we want to do as quick as possible. In other words, I'm an anyway. Then the year what? Yakanushi in the work. Because if Yakanushi the work, he could not read the memo. But he never read the memo. He still they behave like Mugu. Okay, Philip was recalled to the City bench on Wednesday night for the club's trip to his former side, Leeds United. A sign that Guardiola's anger at his situation had somewhat abated. Okay, he's not injured. He arrived overweight. Guardiola said last week, I don't know why he don't arrive in the condition to do training sections and play. I don't understand. It's not as if England even won the World Cup. How do you go to the World Cup where you lost in the quarterfinals and come back overweight? Well, that's none of my business. When they put him on the bench enough, we'll know. Well, the children of Pele are on the emotional bend right now. But this, I buried my mom at 52. Okay, my mom died at 52. Pele is 82. That's 30 more years. If I have a father like Pele that have achieved all the things that he achieved, made a name, that broken record, done all the things that he's done, I don't care what kind of situation he is at 82. If he's pulling on his body, I would be happy. I would not. Like people say I'm heartless, but I said this, my friend. I'm not heartless. It's just that, come on, we come to this life to make impact. And if you made the kind of impact that Pele have made, then there's nobody on his league. There's no co-Pele. It's just Pele standing alone on that lane. I think that I'm not, but yes, you get emotional, like, okay, your great dad is going, but he's lived the life. Okay? He's lived the life. He's done his job. And he could say, I ran a good race, I fought a good fight, I have done all that I need to do. Can you people just do mercy killing and put the injection and shut down the heart and the brain and let the niggas go, please? But hey, children are penning some emotional messages on social media. Pele's daughter says she and her family are enduring sadness and despair in emotional social media posts as 82-year-old Brazilian soccer icon approaches 1 month in hospital. The daughter of Brazil football legend, icon, and world football great Pele has posted a philosophical caption alongside a family photo to social media as a famous father continues his fight for life. Let's stop the fight. Let's end it. Throw in the towel and just go. That's what I would do if I was the child of, if Pele was my dad. That's what I would do. Hate me if you like, but that's what I would do. Yes, a little bit of transfer story. Arsenal are saying to everybody that Eddie Nketiah, he may have turned 180 to 190 degrees to score a third goal against who did they play? Against West Ham the other day on the 26th, on Monday. But they say this guy Nashiri will replay because Arsenal are not making Yeah, fairly slow inquiry in bid to boost the attack for the Premier League title bid after Chelsea and Manchester United were put off by Atletico Madrid's demand of an £8 million fee for a 6-month temporary switch. Chelsea and Manchester United have also spoken about the Portuguese, but the figures are deemed too expensive. How do I pay 8 million for that? Okay, I, Mikel Arteta, will be hoping to take advantage. Advantage? I don't think that Felix is a good player. I think he's just pretty much an average player. He's got a good first touch, no doubt about that. He's got goals in him, but he doesn't have work rate. So I have a problem with that kind of player. I'm talking about Arsenal. Somebody has put a bounty on Arsenal. Somebody has made it his duty to hunt down Arsenal and chase them down. And when you put this boy in this type of mood, I worry because he's now the Thanos that want to snap his finger and see Arsenal's top title hope evaporate. Who's the person I'm talking about? Erling brought Haaland, the Norwegian tour, has vowed to hunt Arsenal after his double helped City close the gap on leaders. As striker insists he could have scored 5 against Leeds in the city of his bet after hitting 20 Premier League goals. Manchester City goals hero Erling Haaland promised to hunt down Arsenal in the Premier League title race. And guess what? We have Eddie Nketiah. People have Erling Haaland. Some people have Harry Kane. And some have Rashford and Legbere Anthony Martial. But guess who we have? Eddie Banku Nketiah. Okay, we keep our fingers crossed till the finger go break. We are watching. God will help Arsenal and help Arsenal to take care of the things that are there. Okay, so let's come back to the conversation. Teams that will not make the top 4 out of this 4. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, and Tottenham Hotspur. Who are the 3 teams that will not make the top 4? Because hypothetically, we're taking it for granted that Man City, Arsenal, and Newcastle would be there because of the kind of form that they're showing, and it doesn't look like they are willing to fall out. Even though Arsenal had a terrible first 45 minutes in the game against West Ham, let's just take it for granted that Saka will always Saka-licious us, and Martinelli will always give us Mattel to drink, or Martini will always cook up the Martini for us to drink, and then Odegaard will order and pay the bills. Okay, it will not be as stingy as British people. But let's see who would not make the top 4. So what you're saying hypothetically is that any 3 you mentioned, you're saying the other one will join those other guys in the top 4. And we've gone from big 4 to big 6 to big 7. We're just about to go into the big 8 if care's not taken as it is right now, because somehow Fulham will drag into it, and that's how horrible the Premier League is. Anyway, talk about Akima. I say good morning, family. Good morning to you, the Olarawajus. Talk about my brother called Olarawaju. He said good morning, Allegota. Chelsea and Spurs are looking the most likely to drop off the top 4. I need you to mention 3. Busayo Adejumo, great guy. This guy, did something that not too many people like to do. Thank you very much for what you did yesterday. I appreciate. It says Spurs, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Man U seems to be more consistent than the other 3. You're a Man U fan, fam. Are you a Man U fan? Okay, I don't know, but we'll see. I think he has more hat-trick, like 3 before the end of. Oh my God, Erling Haaland. That's what he's talking about. Erling Haaland. So, do you guys think that Erling Haaland would hit the 40 goal mark, or probably break the 34? Let's first start with breaking the 34 goals. Like do it 35 or 36, break the 34 goal mark set by Alan Shearer and what's it called now? And the Cole. Or he's going to even put it to the cleaners and say, look, I set the bar here. I'm going to take it from here to here and keep everybody at the bar, just the way Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, did on the global stage, and put everybody here and put the 2 of them on a different pedestal of alien footballers. Is he going to do that? And he does it with a shy smile on his face, like he's just having training in a college or somewhere at the backside of nowhere at Alasia Field. It doesn't really look like he's playing competitive or high performance, professional football. He just does this thing with so much ease. If he misses the ball, he misses it. If he scores, he scores. Just some childish way of, going about his life. And that's the thing that amazes me with the guy anyway. Well, Busayo Adejima said, I think he has more hat-trick, like 3, before the end of the season. My God, I'm scared. Deji Abiona, he said, I still think Newcastle won't make top 4. Would add Man United and Liverpool. All right, Deji, thank you very much for that one. Ogujimi Mobolaji, he said, any of the 4 that can conveniently take 4 points against the top 3 would definitely make top 4. Okay, Man United is looking good. Now, the problem with that, your hypothesis, is that the problem with this team is not what they do against those top teams. It's what they do against the Bournemouth and Burnleys and the smaller teams, the Fulham. Sorry, there's not Burnley. The Fulhams and everything when on a very terrible snowy day. That's what will count, because at the end of the day, if they take a draw against the top teams, they are still just exactly where they are. And what makes it even worse is that the teams at the bottom behind them will not come closer to them. But those ones at the top, they'll surely. If I play draw with you, I am seeing the same number of points ahead of you that remains. So you cannot really win me, and also hope that subsequent games I lose. Okay, so that's the thing. When you have 15 points over somebody and the person beats you, maybe you lose 3 points, you see 12 points over them. If you understand what I'm saying. All right, so let's see how it goes. Dejabiana said those 34 goals guys played 42 EPL games, so but I think Haaland would hit 40 goals. I don't think so. No. I think let's be sure now. Okay, I think shit. I don't know. I need to be sure. I don't come here and say something and say, oh, even if I don't know what to talk. That's gonna be hard. But let me be very, very sure of that. Okay, so let me start with Alan Shara. Alan Shara, when he scored 34 league goals for Blackburn Rovers, it was in 90. No, this got 34 league goals. It's got 31 league goals. Okay, it was in the 94-95 season when Alan Shearer scored 34 goals. It was 38 games. It wasn't 42 games. Yeah. So it was 94-95 season. I don't understand. I'm coming. I need to be sure of what I am saying so I don't miss it out. 94-95 season was 42. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Let's go to Andy Cole and see. Okay. But if not that, Jesus Christ, I forgot to. Andy Cole. Let's do the Andy Cole matrix and see where we stand on that one. I used to like Andy Cole. I used to like him. I used to like his twinkle tool, running on his tool. I just like that part. Okay, and he scored 34 goals in 40 games, and that was it. Okay, he didn't do 28. Okay, so you're right. Right, so let's come back to the conversation. Does Erling Haaland, the Norwegian top, does it have the ability to do that? Busaya Adeji might say, I am not Man United fan though. Okay, what club are you supporting? Let the cats out of the bag. Okay, so let me think. I think you're Arsenal fan. I don't know. Henry Murray said, good morning, bros. Make iPods from IG to YouTube. Henry Murray, I wanted to say, for me, Spurs, Chelsea, and Liverpool will fall off the top 4, considering the way the season has been thus far. Right? So, Man U will make the top 4. I think so too. But I mean, all of those predictions now did not factor in Newcastle. Newcastle is now so delicate in the conversation that you're saying to yourself, like you're saying to yourself, Newcastle is not just only in the conversation for top 4 again. They are now beginning to get into the conversation for title contenders. And it's strange, but if they get to the end of February and they are still in this form where they're not losing games, I think they'll play Arsenal soon. Let's say hypothetically they beat Arsenal. That game is the game that will take Arsenal off the top of the league, because hypothetically, I think they'll play Arsenal first, and then in February, somewhere in the middle of February, that standing game with Man City will be played. If Arsenal beat Newcastle, I'm just walking the mill now. then Man City knows that even if they beat Arsenal, Arsenal will still be on top of them. But Arsenal lose to Newcastle, it means that Man City says to themselves, this is the day that the Lord have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. You know why? Because they come through like bang da da dam. Like bang da da dam. They would look at Arsenal and say, listen, let's do them for 6. Let's do them what we do to Botimere like Man United. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So Arsenal needs to make a statement with the Newcastle game. But pending that Newcastle game, they should win all the other games that are in front of them. And that's the more reason why, if it is Mikhailo Modric, spend the freaking 80 million. If it is, who's that? No, I don't know. Your friends. Somebody else, but look for somebody that will bang in and go put the goals in the net or help to create the goals and bury it in the net. But definitely not Mr. Banku, Eddie Nketiah. I do not believe that Eddie Nketiah can lead you to title winning. Nah, Eddie Nketiah is low budget, like I said. Those people, those kind of players don't help you win titles. They just make you look like you want to win something, but then you end up not winning something. Remember how Eddie Nketiah was in one kind of very special form last season, and everybody said Arsenal will make the top 4. The same Eddie Nketiah could not lead Arsenal into top 4. Arsenal, in the last 10 games of the season, lost 5, and they didn't make the top 4 by 1 point. People say it's just by 1 point, an improvement from 8th position, but that's what you get with people like Eddie Nketiah. So if Arsenal really wants to be in the shindig for the title, they need a guy who buries the ball in the net and who comes in and hit the ground running instantly without struggling with language, with weather, with atmosphere, and anything. What? Chooks on Instagram, Chooks9000 on Instagram says, I agree with you. City isn't top notch this season. Grealish is shit. That guy is one of the worst signings that they've made. He said, good morning, sir. Thank you very much for that one. And Akpas Babai said, Chelsea and Tottenham are going to Europa next year. Okay, Muti, I see you. He say yes. So okay, the grill. He said, "Good morning, bros. Judging by the way the season has been, Spurs, Chelsea, and Liverpool to miss out of top 4. Okay, Liverpool. You sure about that? Liverpool with Cody Gakpo and the rest, they are going to go and play UEFA Europa Cup. Okay, let's put our fingers and see. Akpas I said the English Premier League is living on overhyping. No, the hyping is good. That's business. Okay, from English media. Well, if you spend 5.7 billion in the league, then that investment you must hype it so that investors will come. It's just the way it is. Okay, if you put that kind of money in any business, you will hype it, and you know that the money comes more from the media than any other place, right? Okay, so the combination of ITV, BT Sports, BBC, Sky Sports, Rupert Murdoch's company provide 5.7 billion for that league. So that contract, they must hype it. I don't care what, if I put, for instance, if I go now and probably my YouTube channel grows to where I want it to grow, and I go to the league management committee or company and I say, okay, I want to give you guys 100 million and to have my logo on every stadium pitch panel and have my reporter reporting behind the scene. You dare not report negative about the league. I'll get problem with you. I'll fire you because my investment must be protected. Yeah, so the league must go well. I must, my crew, my staff must always say that the league is the best league in the world. In short, they can't even wear any Premier League or European League club jerseys to go and report the league. They must, in short, if they need to sue Ankara and do Ashwebi and report the league, they will do it. So it's about investment. It's about the business side of the game, and probably that's something that we've not done. Again, the media houses in Nigeria, that's where they are shot. So when I see probably some of the big media houses in Nigeria talking trash about the Nigerian league, I say, shut up. You're not investing in the league. You have no local standing to even talk about it. Because if you want the league to be like the EPL, okay, you also behave like the English media, right? And let's see what you're putting. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. Conversely, to whom nothing is given, absolutely nothing is expected. That's just the way it is. Of course, if I say, okay, let me go back again. The English Premier League is living on overhyping from English media. How many players has won the Ballon d'Or playing in the Premier League? Just one, 2009. How many Championship League have they won? Rubbish. Oh, they've won a lot with this Champions League. They've won a lot. They've won a lot. They've actually won a lot. But Bolapi _ Musa, I said, please help celebrate Victor Osimhen. Today is his birthday. I know that. It's my kid, bro. I know that. Today is Osimhen's birthday. Please help celebrating. Not be help now. Osimhen doesn't need help. He doesn't need help. Osimhen is a great guy already. K. Udofia, I say, how many teams were in the Premier League then that they played? They were 24 teams. They had to play 42 games to get 31 or 34 goals. Yeah, the Premier League used to have 24 teams. Okay, you forgotten that one. Okay, the head. He said Haaland will score over 45. Jesus Christ, man. You're pushing the bow. 45 goals in all competition, but 38 to 42 goals in the EPL. Only is my take here. Have a good day. Thank you very much, bro. How you doing? How's everything going? I'm struggling to compile the list. Okay, that you asked me to compile. I'm struggling to compile that list, but we'll get it going. Yeah. Somebody is using Elevated TV radio to join this live this thing. Okay. Okay. Let's not talk. Oh, good to me, Mobalaji said, what if Haaland has injury? You been wish you won't go injure him in January. What's going to be Man City's status at the end of the season? Do you think they can still win the league without Haaland? I think that, and that this thing I'm going to say now would sound very stupid and ridiculous. Well, I always sound ridiculous anyway. I think if Haaland gets injured right now, Man City will play better. The whole idea that forget we don't need to kill ourselves, get the ball to Haaland, it would score. It's making Man City players, you know that thing they say that if you lose one of your senses, the other ones would compensate, will overcompensate. So if you get blind, your senses, your smelling, your taste, your feeling would, become hyperactive. They work more than they normally do. That's exactly what's happening with Man City right now. Man City feels like, you know what, without a striker last season, without a proven striker, we're able to win a league title. 2 seasons ago, the same thing. If we have Erling Haaland, who is scoring hat-trick for fun, who doesn't run, as a matter of fact, can play 90 minutes or 120 minutes without sweating and score goals, we don't need to kill ourselves. So you look at Man City. Let's take yesterday's game, for instance. If Jack Grealish had the kind of form that Leroy Sané had when he was at Man City, I'm sure that Haaland would have scored like 6 goals in that game yesterday. Having said that, the game was going, the 40th minute, there was just that thing about them that, guys, we never score, let's go get the goal. And boom, they got the goal. I think if they don't have Haaland, and remember when Haaland was injured in a couple of games, you saw how they played. They will play differently. Pep Guardiola will set up his team differently. There is a little bit of, guys, chill, we got this one. Or Haaland got us, right? Like when there was Tony Stark in the Avengers, everybody just seems to do 50% because they know that a certain Iron Man will just fly in and get everything sorted out. But the very minute he stepped out, even Spider-Man stepped up. Spider-Man raised the bar. Spider-Man is supposed to be the baby of the house. I think that's exactly what would happen with Man City. So hypothetically, if you and your players, people, people go and enjoy it, the team will still do well. They've not won anything with Haaland in it, and this is a team that is on course for their 5th, if I'm not mistaken, their 5th Premier League title in 6 years. First time that Pep Guardiola will be winning 3 straight Premier League titles if they win this one. As an Arsenal fan, I don't want them to win it anyway, but I think they've got a team that we must always agree that they are good enough to win it. Having said that, Yemi Dynamite says, compliment of the season, Big Uncle E. Thank you very much, and happy belated birthday to you, sir. Thank you very much. Wishing you very happy return. Yemi Dynamite said, what are you thankful for in sports for 2022, sir? Qatar hosting the World Cup. Qatar making the statement that they made and proving me right from what I said 6 years ago that Qatar will end up giving us the greatest World Cup ever. I said that 6 years. I think one of the last few shows that I did while I was still in Brilla 6 or 7 years ago, and I said that this one everybody's saying that the World Cup that they gave to Qatar is not good, that he bought it. Qatar is going to give us the best World Cup because that's how everybody said Brazil was not going to be good. There's going to be crime. There's going to be this. People say South Africa, there's AIDS, there's sickness, there's virus, malaria, this one. South Africa turned up. And every time the human race know how to show up when you ride them up. So I'm thankful for Qatar giving us an amazing World Cup. But let's be very honest, on a personal note, there's a whole lot that went wrong in 2022 for me. Like 2022 for me on a personal, like it's the toughest year. I almost lost my son. My marriage was on the rocks, close to, shattering, and a whole lot. I mean, for the very first time, I was depressed. I don't think I was suicidal, but I was really depressed, and a whole lot of that. But for sports, I think I was excited to see the underdog tell a great story, and that was Qatar. I also, love how Alexander Zinchenko, what's it called? What's that guy's name again? The boxer. Not Zinchenko, the Ukrainian boxer. How he beat Anthony Joshua back to back. I felt for the Bronze Bomber, I felt for the Bronze Bomber, but I was happy for Taxi Fury because sometimes when you write people off and feel like they're not good enough, they need to come out and shut you up. And I like people who shut people up in your face. Alexander Usyk, yes, that's the name. I like the Usyk thing, how he went, every rank, every category that he was. Alexander Usyk went and was the heavy puncher, and people still didn't respect it. And the way Anthony Joshua went about it, like, I'll just show up at Sports Stadium, White Adelaide, and I'll just beat him. Come on, then. How arrogant can you be? And then in the second fight, he took all the time in this war, did not even prepare, and for a few months, it was 11 months between the fight. You had 11 freaking months. Change your coaches, change your tactics, train. You were busy trying to fight a guy from UK. I'm not sure that Joshua have ever traveled to that part of the world. I understood the mental state of people there. I lived in Russia for 11 months. So I will tell you this. That guy came back in the second fight and made Joshua understand that not only will I beat you, I'll stop you from fighting. That fine boy thing, he beat Anthony Joshua head. Anthony Joshua took Mike and was talking upside down. I've never seen a boxing match and the beating boxer was talking. I don't understand what he was saying. Honestly, he's the guy that invented all this thing that Tinubu is saying, but people didn't notice. And then Joshua was the first person that said the town hall meeting, blah 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 blah. It was Anthony Joshua, but people don't know. Go back and watch the clip after the fight. You would understand all this things I'm saying. I kind of like 2022 in sports, and as a Brume, Toby Amuso, the underdog story, Remo Stars going on the continent, even though they didn't do well, but it was nice. And for the very first time, it was in 2022 that my crew went to the Viaggio Cup. Now the player from that tournament is going to be unveiled by Inter Milan next month. So that was a positive one, as well as we went to Dubai. We spent 5.2 million to do a documentary. Like, I can't believe that I did that anyway, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy to make progress. And we went to Dubai to shoot the follow-up on Coach Ayuri. I think there's a lot of things that I'm thankful for, but it was one of the toughest years for me as a human being, as a husband, as a father. Watch my son go through all that, what he went through, 3-year-old boy. Yeah, that was tough. That was hard, like really hard to watch, and running around and going through all those things, wire scanning, X-ray, machine treatment. Ooh, that was crazy. And watching people die, people that I love die this year, just like that. My younger sister died with pregnancy, and my partner's mother died. It was crazy, but hey, it's one of those things. It was also this year that I branched into film. It's also this year that we took a direction on our podcast, and we have case closed. We have it's a whole lot to be thankful for, and trouble bond people together more. So troubles are good sometimes, but they are not good when they're happening. Yemi Danamai says I feel Spurs, Chelsea, and United are most likely the teams that will make it due to their inconsistent run so far in the season. And Liverpool have a coach who will know how to deal with the striker not scoring. So let me say this, like Obayagba will say, festicible. Let me say this up front. I think, I don't care where anybody is playing, Manchester United will make top 4. And this is not me disrespecting Liverpool or anybody, but I think that Manchester United will make top 4. The biggest move on the chessboard of this season is letting Cristiano Ronaldo go. Cristiano Ronaldo is the demon, the devil, the Jonah that is sinking the ship. Now he's out. These guys, the way they are playing, I've been in dressing room, I've been in football, and I know when players don't like you and then they want to show it. These players love their coach, but they also want to show to Cristiano Ronaldo that Cristiano Ronaldo, now you be the players, and you be the wish where the whole us dance says, and you be the olekuku where they show people picking for their belly. Right now, these guys are going to go on a crazy run of results and just get the job done week in, week out. And another great signing that Manchester United made that nobody is even, talking about is that guy called Casemiro. Casemiro is the stability in front of that defense. Right now, you could put Harry Maguire in that defense and they will still be very good because of the stability that he brings, because he has this thing in him where he knows where the move is going to and he just goes there, stop, and break it, right? Fantastic guy. I just hope that they don't prove me wrong anyway, and then they go on to get it done. Yeah. Where did I stop on Instagram? Nah, I keep forgetting to block this demonic show. What about Juju you use? Stepmanic to say eloquent about my boss Mbappe don't finish me. My bet don't cast. I don't understand. This guy's always talking out of point. Olisa Manuel, he says, sorry, I can't stay tuned in. I love your work, Ross. Thank you very much. I appreciate, man. Thank you. Stepmanic to say, wow, thank God he see you through all and spare your lives in 2022, sir. Thank you very much. Don't miss out on block your show. Hey, Kali, what's up? Stepmanic to say, what about Super Eagles versus Ghana, sir? I saw your coverage of the match in 2022. You mentioned that they broke one of your equipment, 120 million naira worth of equipment. Thank God for your save from the incident too, sir. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that happened in 2022 that I don't like, but hey, what do you do? Yeah, that's we're still trying to recover from not being able to do that Netflix movie. We're still trying to repurpose it. Hey, Popola Sadiq, Popohana, we're still trying to repurpose that movie and make sense out of it. We have all the clips, all the sacrifice, traveling to the Netherlands, traveling to Alex Iwobi's family house, traveling to London to Table's place. All of those things that we did. But hey, it's one of those things that just happen, and you keep your fingers crossed and say, well, God, I know why. Okay. Congratulations to Ghana for going to the World Cup. I can't help it, but we will still find something out of it. We will repurpose it and do something out of it. 2023, we're going to roll out all of the content that we've been struggling with and see how it goes and build up from there. Thank God we started shooting our podcast again. Thank God we also were able to get Alibaba to help us so that we do case closed. So there's a whole lot coming in 2023. 2022 would not turn out to be as bad as it is, but then we have to sell first. When we sell, that's when we know whether 2022 was a great or bad year. Well, let's run through a few of the transfer rumors that are there before I pack my bags and baggages and leave. Real Madrid will prioritize a deal for Borussia Dortmund and England midfielder Jude Bellingham that will end up as a flop anyway. In 2023, with the 19-year-old set to choose the Spanish side over Liverpool. Bellingham will sit down with Borussia Dortmund in January to discuss his future, according to the Liverpool Echo. Okay, Liverpool, Juventus, Benfica, and Borussia Dortmund are interested in Brighton and Argentine star Alexis McAllister. Okay, how does an Argentine person have McAllister as his name anyway? I will go and dig. He's 24 years old, who may be available for between 31 to 35 million pounds, according to La Repubblica in Italy. Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur have opened talks with Rennes over 25-year-old French striker Martin Terrier, who was valued at 34 million pounds over the summer. Manchester City are willing to offer AC Milan England midfielder Jack Grealish. I told you guys that this guy is shit, who offers quality. Okay, Jack Grealish in the exchange for 23-year-old Portugal forward Rafael Leao. How many strikers are you guys going to have? You have Julian Alvarez, you have Erling Haaland, you have Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao, please don't go to that club. Come to us now. That's not the club you should be going to. But Jack Grealish, shit. Chelsea have told Benfica they will meet the 105 million pounds release clause in the contract of 21-year-old Argentine midfielder Enzo Fernandez. That's what happens when you win the World Cup. Okay, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea have reservation about meeting Atletico Madrid's £8 million loan fee for 23-year-old Portugal midfielder. Just take the gamble and let's see what happens. 8 million. It's not a big deal. That's what you guys used to eat caviar at the Burj Khalifa when you travel to Dubai. So just take the gamble and see where it goes. 8 million will not kill anybody. Tottenham, after all, Arsenal spent 72 million on the worst ever player in the world, and nobody died. Tottenham have made an offer of £13 million for Barcelona's 26-year-old Ivory Coast midfielder Frankie Casey. Okay, let's see how that one goes. That guy, my problem with Frankie Casey is a good player, but he plays football with his hands, always spread wide and pick up too many fouls. Okay, you can easily make him to pick up red card, right? He did that easily in Italy, but any other place, that would probably have to learn how to put his hand down. Okay, Chelsea are interested in Celtic and Croatian defender Josip Juranovic, 27, as a replacement for injured 23-year-old England international Reece James. So that's an emergency buy, as Arsenal is also looking for an emergency buy to cover for Gabriel Jesus. Okay, Chelsea are monitoring Inter Milan's 26-year-old Netherlands defender Denzel Dumfries, who is also on Manchester United radar. Newcastle United have ruled out signing 31-year-old Chelsea and Italy midfielder Jorginho, as they have decided to bank on Giorgio Chervi, even though he's injured to February. Arsenal are in pole position to sign Lazio 27-year-old midfielder Sergi Milinkovic-Savic. Okay, if you get that, what now happens to Yuri Telemans? Well, I hope that Arsenal signs him anyway. Still on Arsenal matter, Shakhtar Donetsk say they want almost €100 million for 21-year-old Ukraine winger, and I think he's worth it. Okay, Mikhailo Modric, who is Arsenal's top target. Arsenal pay the money and move on, because if people can pay $100 million for for a player like Jack Grealish, how much did they even pay for Kevin Phillips again? And then somebody is saying that Declan Rice is worth $50 million, then Mikhailo Modric is worth $100 million. I don't care whether it's Arsenal that wants to buy him, but they should pay that money. Manchester United will focus on next year's summer transfer window instead of spending in January with another money. Atletico Madrid and Spain striker Alvaro Morata, the money launderer and the 419 player of football, is a loan target for Manchester United. Once again, another money laundering is going to happen. Another scam is going to happen. How does this guy manage to get in the radar of big clubs and do nothing after he signs? Is still a mystery to me. Bournemouth have joined Leicester City in expressing interest in Atalanta former Chelsea winger Jeremy Brugger, with the 25-year-old Ivory Coast international available on loan. Did you guys see that short dwarf Italian player that played for Leeds yesterday? Gnotto, whatever his name is, the Ivorian born, the Italian born to Ivorian parents. That guy reminded me of Pasikedia back in the day anyway. Newcastle United, Giorgio Chervi needs to start 2 more matches to earn a 1-year contract extension, but the 30-year-old sidelined for up to 8 weeks with a calf injury and has 6 months left on his contract. He's scared, but I think he will get it anyway. Leeds are closing in on a deal for RB Salzburg captain and Austrian defender Maximilian Wöber, 24, but Everton are also interested in the player. That's according to Team Talk and Fabrizio Romano. Well, I'm going to shoot my time by 2 minutes. It's been wonderful. Let me see if there is any last message that I didn't read. Okay, Deji Abiona said Nigerian players need to meet with Morata's agent. The agent Sabi positioner, not a smart something. That agent knows how to break into boardroom and get this done. And finally, last message on Instagram. So maybe you can still do the movie like that. Aircon usually do video in Super Eagles camp on YouTube. No, that's all. That's not. This is a proper movie. That's not. Yemi said, "Where's the sidekick?" Is on break till second week of January. Give everybody break. Everybody go. Let me run this place a little bit alone. And I like the alone time. Sometimes you just want to be alone. All right. I like the alone time. It helps me to see clearly, see past the fog of people, and know what to do. Well, having said that, thank you very much, everybody, for your time, for being on the show today. God bless you. Let's do this again tomorrow. Last edition for the year is tomorrow. We're going to have fun. Yes, somebody said I should do it for 2 hours. I really can't do it for 2 hours right now because I have babysitting job and every other things to do. But Thank you very much for being on the show. My name once again is Daffy Mathias. You love to come in there on Sports. It's been the Sports Buffet on Elland Road TV Radio. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day.